What's cracking, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Silver hits $95 an ounce. All-time highs for gold and silver. Gold hit 47 and some change. Had to re-record this video. I was on the Golden Gate Bridge earlier and it flopped. The video flopped. Anyways, back to the shit though, right? We're heading into the city on Lombard Street. Anyways, are you guys excited about this? These new highs? I assume I expect to pull back, 95. I'm pretty sure the big players don't want it to hit 100, but it looks like, from the looks of it, to me, it looks like we're almost there. $5 away. You look at the bullion dealers are all asking crazy premiums. You can't walk away with an ounce of silver for $95 as of today, February 20th, 2026. You can't. Or even as of yesterday. Or even as in yesterday was Monday, MLK Day, or Monday, or Sunday. You can't walk out anywhere with one silver generic. I'm not talking about these. I'm talking about a generic silver round. I'm not talking about the Silver Eagles. I'm talking in general silver as an investment. You can't walk away with paying $100. You're always gonna pay a little bit more. Anyways, back to the shit though. Like in the previous video, I was able to buy some silver at spot price, no fees, no what is it called? No premiums. Just because I know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. But that's my deal. Back to the shit though, right? Gold hits 47 and some change. 47.64, I think that's what it was, which is amazing, and it's not amazing at the same time, if you know what I mean. That means that, from what I understand, is that people who've been people starting to realize that the collapse of fiat currency is, or they're losing trust in their currency, right? Whether you use dollars, yens, or just the global currencies have been printing so much fucking money out there that people are starting to diversify into legitimate, tangible assets. Notice how no one's running into Bitcoin, right? No one's saying, "Oh yeah, you know what? The dollar is being devalued, the printing, or just any other currency, right? Let's go get some Bitcoin." People are rushing into silver and gold. And what's crazy, right? I'm gonna diverge a little bit, right? Is that if you're within the precious metals industry, right, or just within that niche of group of people, right? And I don't categorize myself into the these coin collectors or anything like that. I'm just trying to protect myself from outside forces. Anyways, everyone seems to know what's going on, but no one seems to know, if that makes sense. So everyone is in society is aware that the value of their purchasing power has been eroded as time goes on, and the smart money, they're starting to pivot. They're starting to liquidate a lot of their paper assets, and they're starting to put it into tangible assets. And the scary thing about this is, once everyone finds out, there's gonna be a rush. I assume, right? I could be wrong. I just assume that everyone's gonna want to get these precious metals. They're gonna want to get their hands on these precious metals, and by the time that time comes, it's already gonna be too late. Or the premiums you're gonna see crazy premiums, right? crazy premiums, where you're starting to see them now, as of today, where you can't purchase a physical precious metals for spot price without paying a premium. So technically, this is how I view it, right? We're already sitting at $100 an ounce. You include the premiums, there you go. We're already sitting at $100. Just because it doesn't show on a paper market doesn't mean that we're not at $100 an ounce. And but yeah, anyway, so no one knows, but everyone knows, which is insane. And I feel bad for those people who've been doing quote unquote the right thing, but yet they don't know that they're one of the ways to protect your asset, or at least your liquidity, is, I assume, is throwing it into precious metals. This isn't financial advice. I'm just a blue collar worker driving to work, yip yapping. This is unlicensed, unprofessional advice. Well, not even advice, but you get my point. I'm just yip yapping. And anyways, I want to talk about something that's I also want to bring up the point that precious, you know, you hear a lot, oh, silver is very volatile, you know, don't throw your money in there, you're gonna lose money. That's what I hear from these people, right? And to a certain extent I agree, right? Where you have to ask yourself, oh yeah, okay, I'll buy into that silver's volatile, but why though? Why is it volatile? Because the motherfuckers are playing with the paper price, and these big banks are playing Russian roulette with the precious metals market. And honestly, this is my opinion. Have at it. You guys want to bring the price of silver down? Go ahead. Bring it back down to $30 an ounce. Bring it back, bring it back to $30 an ounce so I could just go and buy as much as I can. And back to the shit though, right? The fact that the silver's manipulated, right? Or just all precious metals. My point where I'm going with this is that ever since, from the research that I've done, that ever since the Federal Reserve, right, was created, that's when the market of the precious metals was started to become volatile, quote unquote, and volatile, right? Same thing with gold. And my point with this is that it's only volatile because of the motherfuckers behind the scenes are fucking with it, are messing with the price. If that makes sense. And people, you know, and you hear this, historically, the gold to silver ratio has been, you know, what was it? You know, we're at a peak, you know, because it's now 50-1, and it should drop back to 100-1, which you could. I remember you could buy 100 ounces to one, you know, 100 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold. But it's like, is that really what the actual price is? Because historically speaking, and when they say historically speaking, right? These people say historically speaking, they're only going back to like 1913. They're not going 5,000, 6,000 years back. You know, how could you price an item that's been in existence, right? An asset that's been in existence since before recorded human history, and the historical price point of that, I guess, of that asset has been from 7 to 15 to 1. You know, some civilizations price it at 10 to 1, 15 to 1, but that's kind of like the sweet spot from 7 to 15 or 16 to 1, you know. But my point is that I guess where I'm going with this is that they've been fucking with the market and just these paper games for, you know, for what, over 50 years. And from the looks of it, you know, you have a supply shortage. You're getting into a point where you're starting to get a little bit of FOMO, right? And you have the collapsing currencies. It's like the perfect storm for people who are holding precious metals, because you have all the ingredients for your you know, for you to, how do I say this? For you to be protected, right? Because from the looks of it, it's about to be bad if we do have a financial crisis. And based on the from what I've been hearing, is that it's probably gonna be worse than 2008. And I remember 2008. It was pretty bad. I was in I think I was in high school. But my point is that if you're holding precious metals, hold on tight. That's my assumption. And what was I gonna go? What else was I gonna talk about? Oh yeah, so the gold to silver ratio. So back to the shit though. So is $100 still cheap? I believe so. I'm gonna still keep buying, and I just, you know, at least I get a little bit of more exposure, and you get the like, you have the dollar cost average. Where is it gonna matter if I pay $100 an ounce for silver today? Is it gonna matter 30 years from now? I highly doubt it, you know, because this is something that most of us plan on doing for the rest of our lives, if that makes sense. We're in the Tenderloin district. This is where just a little bit change the topic. This is where you see, like in the news, like in the national headlines, the drug dealers and the drug addicts and the homeless people and people slipping on the streets. This is where it all happens. One of the poorest neighborhoods in San Francisco. I've seen a lot of crazy shit out here. I've seen yeah, it's ugly out here. Anyways, gold shoots up to 700. I'm gonna finish it off like that. Silver hits all-time highs. I'm gonna still be buying. You know, it's funny because you hear people say, "Oh, silver's going to 500, silver's going to 1,000, silver's going to 250." They're having all these high-ass predictions, but then at the same time, they're saying silver's too expensive to buy. Put your money where your mouth is at. Don't be saying that silver's too high, but then you're saying it's gonna move. Come on, man, that shit don't even make sense. You motherfuckers are saying, "Oh, silver's too expensive," but then at the same time, you're saying it's gonna move. What the fuck? You guys make no sense. Look, check it out. It's ugly out here. It's literally crackhead land out here, and I'll leave it at that. And maybe if I go one more, y'all hear that? Crazy motherfuckers out here. Anyways, back to this shit though. I'll let you guys go. Let me know if you've been buying $100 ounce silver. If you've been buying purchasing at these high prices, you know, because technically they are high prices if you bought in early, like a lot of us did, and you kind of scared. But like I said in my previous video, you guys got to detach yourself from fiat currency, emotionally detach yourself. I don't hold them. I used to, right? Be emotionally attached, and I guess 90% of us, or the majority of us, are attached to fiat currencies, and we have to train ourselves to detach, to detach ourselves from the currency because it's fiat. That's crazy. They've convinced us to feel emotionally attached to a currency that has zero value. And I'll leave it at that. Peace.